Welcome to Manhattan, where family is at the forefront of the culture created by legendary coach Bill Snyder. After a disappointing 1-1 start to the season for the Wildcats, they look to get back on track against UTSA's Roadrunners. Next on Fox College Football. This is the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas, and college football on Fox is presented by Saltgrass Steakhouse. It is a warm one this afternoon as Kansas State from the Big 12 at 1-1 plays at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, their home stadium, against the UTSA Roadrunners from Conference USA, who are 0-2. With Brian Baldinger, I'm Mark Followell. A pleasure as always to have you with us for Fox College Football. Brian, we know what Kansas State is trying to do. They're searching for an identity. We know they're capable of running the football. We have seen that from time to time this year. What we haven't seen is a consistently efficient passing game that they're looking for today.
And they're looking for that because they have not thrown the ball well this year so far at all. Skylar Thompson will get the start today. Here's a little flip pass out of the backfield to Dalvin Warmack. They throw one touchdown pass to Dalton Schoen. They've only completed 45% of their passes. They're looking for Skylar Thompson to take a hold of the quarterback position today. One thing they have done well, they have run the ball well behind Alex Barnes, a 225-pound tailback that can do it all. He leads the Big 12 in rushing after 2 weeks right now behind a very experienced offensive line. They want to get that going as well today.
It is Kansas State and UTSA meeting for just a second time. K-State had a win in 2015. The story with the Roadrunners, we'll find out more coming up next with Leslie McCaslin before the kickoff of UTSA at Kansas State on Fox College Football. College football on Fox is brought to you by Saltgrass Steakhouse. Taste the certified Angus beef brand difference today. And by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer today. At CY Ford is America's best-selling brand.
Welcome back to Bill Snyder Family Stadium as UTSA gets ready to take on Kansas State. Well, it has been a challenging non-conference schedule for the Roadrunners. This is now their third straight game against a Power 5 school, one of only 2 non-Power 5 schools to have a schedule like that. Head coach Frank Wilson believes his team is more talented, but he said they have less experience. So with 7 new coaches and 66 underclassmen, he told us, quote, he is all in. He is in the meetings, guys, running the scout team, very hands-on, and the focus this week for UTSA is all on defense. He said he is not up for Kansas State running 500 yards on them today. Mark?
Well, what Kansas State under Bill Snyder wants to do is be better. Yesterday we met with him and Brian said, Coach, I don't want to say that you're a work in progress, but Bill said the cliche is correct. We are a work in progress. We're looking for a lot more and we're capable of a lot more. And he certainly understands what winning football is all about. 27 years, 100 more wins than losses as he coaches his 323rd game today.
And as the fans get on their feet, and they stay on their feet, the majority of the game here in his family stadium, he said, we haven't given him much to cheer about so far this year. And so last week was a disappointing performance against Mississippi State. They got a lot to clean up here today.
A 31-10 loss to number 18 Mississippi State last week. The prior week, down 24-12 in the fourth quarter. They came back and they beat South Dakota 27-24. Jared Sackett kicks off for UTSA, who won the toss, deferred their option. They kick off, and UTSA's Isaiah Zuber, who has a punt return for a touchdown this year, has a short kickoff return that will carry him beyond the 20 to the 22-yard line as we look at the Dockers' always-on players to watch, Brian.
Well, we're going to go with Alex Barnes, a 225-pound tailback that leads the Big 12 in rushing. 2 line, Reisner, right tackle, Holtorf to center, and then Josiah Tauefa, the middle linebacker, has been leading this team in tackles every year since he's been here. Kevin Strong is a defensive lineman, a senior they're counting on today, and C.J. Levine from the safety position is capable of a lot of plays and blitzes off the edge.
The aforementioned Kevin Strong was a preseason All-Conference USA selection. There's a marker down on the first play of the game. It might be a free play. It's an errant out down the right sideline for the 22-yard line by Skylar Thompson. And it's an incomplete pass. But again, Eddie Shelton, the referee, we will hear from him immediately after the first play from scrimmage because of a penalty.
Right end.
Offside. Defense. Number 91. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
junior Jared Carter McClellan.
Got a little antsy here, as I think the Roadrunners have brought their Texas heat to Manhattan, Kansas here today. Hottest day I can remember, September, here in a long time.
90 degrees at kickoff. Obviously feels a lot warmer than that down on the field. UTSA only averaging 30 penalty yards per game, 5th fewest in FBS, but they give Kansas State 5 on the first snap of the game, and then a throw to the right side, and Shabastin Taylor with his first catch of the season, a redshirt freshman from Giddings, Texas.
And what that is a completion for Skylar Thompson to build some confidence. Quick throw, get it in the hands of the receiver right here, let him pick up the first down, and try to develop and establish an early rhythm for Skylar Thompson.
A 5-yard penalty, then a 5-yard pass play. Kansas State has their first down of the afternoon. From their own 32. The first touch today for 225-pound running back Alex Barnes, who waited for a hole to open up. Not much of one did as he plunges forward to the 35 before being knocked off his feet by Les Maruo at linebacker.
Well, one thing when you play Kansas State, you always have to defend the quarterback run. Skylar Thompson right here, excellent at putting the ball in Barnes' belly and then pulling it out as well.
Thompson has run the ball 23 times this year. His backup Alex Delton has 18 rushes. That's running back Alex Barnes with his second consecutive carry. And will fall forward to the 40-yard line, leaving Kansas State a 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2 officially.
Bill Snyder thought that the offensive line played soft last week. They didn't move the line of scrimmage. They went back to the fundamentals this week. One-on-one drills, board drills, trying to move the line of scrimmage going north-south.
Offensive lineman Dalton Reisner, the right tackle, told it was the most competitive week of practice they've had in a long time. Airing out another free play, but this pass is on the money. It is caught by Zach Reuter. Down the left sideline and well into UTSA territory at their 23 officially on the long pass play on 3rd and short.
Well, it was just a go route on the outside by Reuter. And he beat the corner just clean, and that's the throw that they've been looking for.
Offside. Defense, number 91. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
Yeah, here's the receiver right here on the outside, just going to run the go route. Just working on Tedrick McGee. And that time, Skylar Thompson dropped it right in the bucket. They've been looking for the big play of the passing game all year.
37 yards was that play in the passing game. And now the change of pace back. Dalvin Warmack is into the game. And Warmack waits for a hold, bounces outside, and has a first down to the 10-yard line before Josiah Taua-Efa, that outstanding UTSA linebacker, makes the stop.
Got a big split on the left side we see between Scott France and Tyler Mitchell right here. There's the split, little power football, pulled the backside guard and tackle Reisner along with Beecham, and they open up that hole, and Taua-Efa saved that touchdown.
Officially, Warmack's run goes for 12 yards, 23 down to the 11. They can attain a first down without a touchdown on 1st and 10 at the 11. Barnes hit in the backfield, and Eric Banks stays with it. Banks had the initial penetration. The first tackle attempt was broken, Baldy, but the second one by Eric Banks is successful.
Well, he came right around the left tackle, and he's going to come from the backside. There he is. Nice job contained as Barnes tried to cut that ball back, and he stopped the cutback lane.
Eric Banks is from Memphis, Tennessee. Throw to the left side, caught stepping out of bounds, Zach Reuter. Reuter had the 37-yard pass on the drive a moment ago. This goes for 8 yards down to the 6.
And Skylar Thompson is doing a lot on this first drive to establish himself as the starting quarterback right now. I mean, just been excellent on all the throws, the deep throws, along with the short outs, and that will make Bill Snyder a little happier than he was the first 2 weeks of the season.
3 for 3 on the drive, 50 yards for Skylar Thompson, a sophomore quarterback from Independence, Missouri. This is the proverbial 4-point play. It's 3rd and 5 at the 6. It's a throw caught at the goal line. He gave up just a little bit of ground on Isaiah Harris's first catch of the season, and now it all depends on the spot. Is it 1st and goal at the 1-yard line? Looks like it will be, Baldy.
Yeah, I mean, another perfect throw this time by Thompson. Now, he's getting great. Boy, he had to come back inside the end zone to come back out to catch it. It's the right spot, but Thompson perfect on this drive.
4 for 4 now with that conversion on third down. 2 third-down conversions for Kansas State, who came into today at 37% on third downs this year.
Quarterback run.
And first and goal, and Thompson slipped. Thompson off the left side slipped, and once he did, Darryl Godfrey pounced on him.
Godfrey, the free safety, came up to make the play. He was in the right position to stop the cutback. Here's Godfrey right here. He's coming right around to make this stop. Excellent job of taking on Alex Barnes and getting underneath him to make the play for a loss.
Not an easy thing to do for a defensive back to take on Alex Barnes, Brian. He is an excellent blocker, be it in the running game for the quarterback or in pass protection. Second down and goal. Now it's Alex Barnes who will take matters into his own hands and drive to the middle and score the first Kansas State Wildcats touchdown.
Watch this replay. Watch the tight end right here with this block sealing the end right here. Stopping the penetration. Right there, now you get the hole. And he runs right through the tackle that time in for the end zone. And that's Alex Barnes' first touchdown of the season. I asked him yesterday, you lead the Big 12 in rushing, no touchdowns. He said, I was going to celebrate with my teammates.
He had 7 rushing touchdowns last year, but his first of this season comes on his 42nd carry. He takes it into the end zone, and Kansas State has the lead at home. $7-0 lead for the Wildcats. An effective drive to score the touchdown, engineered by Wildcats quarterback Skylar Thompson. Baldy.
Well, he was perfect on the drive, and that's what they're looking for. He got the big throw. He got the short throws to the outside. He was decisive, and he was accurate. And they need that getting ready for conference play starting next week.
There's Blake Lynch. He hit the extra point. And the now scholarship kicker for Kansas State is ready to kick the ball off to Matt Guidry as the Roadrunners about to have their first series on offense today. A diagonal kick from the left hash to the right side and carried over the 26, 27-yard line on Matt Guidry's run back. He's averaging 23 yards per kick return. Wardell Grundy from Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa and Northeast Oklahoma A&M. This is his 3rd start. You see his numbers for the season, Brian.
Yeah, and he is an athletic guy. You've got to respect his running game. Throwing it, he's got a good arm. It's only his 3rd start. They're growing as an offense, and it's an inexperienced offensive line in front of him. They ask him to do a lot, but I've been impressed by his athletic ability the first 2 games.
Jalen Rhodes at running back has been limited early this season due to injury, but he is in the game to start at running back. But it's Grundy just running for his life with a blitz off the edge, and he will carry it over the 30 and pick up 5 yards on first down.
Well, he just alluded that blitz you talked about. That's part of the athletic ability. It's going to come right here. There's the blitz. They only have 1 sack all year. Baylor blitzed UTSA relentlessly last week. I'm sure Kansas State watched it. I mean, they blitzed him on the first play, and he was able to elude it.
UTSA giving up more sacks than anyone in the nation so far this year. That was Walter Neal Jr. who came in, and this is a batted down pass by freshman Wyatt Hubert from Topeka. He's looked really good early on this season, and he bats that one down on second down.
He sure has, and they're excited about what Wyatt Hubert can be. Going to get that hands up right here in the passing lane. He's got the only interception this year for Kansas State. Redshirt freshman, came in here, played a lot of snaps last week against Mississippi State. He's earned a lot more playing time here today. You're going to hear a lot about him the next couple of years here in Manhattan, Kansas.
Third down 5. Grundy flushed, steps up, room to run for the first down and out of bounds. 43-yard line is where he goes out. Gain of 11. Kendall Adams forced him out. The all-conference preseason selection at safety.
Well, they're just going to push this ball. Just see the opening in the middle. He breaks the tackle right there of the inside defensive lineman, Kyle Ball, and sprints for the first down. Already we've seen examples of his athletic ability in the first play, beating the blitz, and right there, extending this drive with the run on the third down.
Couple of runs so far for Grundy. That's all of the offense for UTSA to generate so far. Jalen staying in the block, and they go to the fullback. It's a good block by Jalen Rose. They try to go to fullback Halen Stewart, and his pass is broken up, looking for Stewart. Duke Shelley on coverage.
I talked to Duke Shelley before the game. Very confident player.
Yes.
He has had 5 interceptions in his career. 2 have gone back for touchdowns, and he said he's got 1 in his repertoire today.
Yes, sir. Had a pick 6 against Texas Tech last year, and then 1 against Oklahoma State in 2016. Already 5 pass breakups for Duke Shelley this year. Jalen Rhodes with his first carry of the day, the senior, who again has been limited to only 5 carries so far this year. And there's Mr. Wyatt Huberts involved again. We look at the always-on Dockers players to watch for UTSA's offense, Kansas State's defense.
Well, B.J. Daniels had a big game running the ball for him last week. A couple guys up front, Dunlop and Shannon, to look for as they continue their development. And for K-State, Reggie Walker up front, senior defensive lineman, and Shelley, we talked about it. Kendall Adams, the senior safety, is an outstanding player. Number 21, he's the captain, and a big hitter back there.
That run a moment ago for Rhodes is only a yard, so it leaves 3rd down and 9. And thrown low and incomplete. Pressure provided by Kyle Ball, among others, and UTSA 1 first down, and then the drive stalls near midfield and will have to punt. Grundy went 0 for 3 on the drive, Brian.
Well, they want to throw this jet sweep right here, but they had 2 guys in his face, including Ball and then Hubert. They were all over that play. And so there was nothing really for Grundy to do but to dump the ball, not take a bad play, let the punter come out here and do his work.
Isaiah Zuber is back. Yanni Routsis is getting ready to punt. There's a marker.
Number 4.
I disagree with that call.
Lost it down. 4th down.
I think that Frank Wilson disagrees with it. They were throwing it to Greg Campbell Jr. on the Jets screen. He was coming back to the ball. He was in the vicinity. That's a big penalty. You lose a lot of yards on that.
The line of scrimmage is the 35 now rather than the 44. That's a 9-yard penalty. Yanni Routsis with the punt, and it will go out of bounds. Kansas State scored a touchdown on their first drive. We'll see what the second drive holds when we return to Fox College Football in Manhattan. Kansas State a 7-0 lead at home against UTSA mid-first quarter, and we saw a successful first drive for the Kansas State passing game led by Skylar Thompson.
For the first time this year, Skylar Thompson going down the field here to Zach Reuter. Big play. And this play in the backfield here to Isaiah Harris gets him down to the 2, and then Alex Barnes scores his first touchdown of the season. The Big 12's leading rusher. That was a very efficient drive engineered by Skylar Thompson to start this game.
They have struggled, only averaging 126 pass yards and a completion percentage at 45, 4th lowest. Only UTEP, Mississippi State, and Army have been lower, and offensive coordinator Andre Coleman has to like what he has seen so far, particularly from Reuter, who only had 27 receiving yards in the first 2 games. Reuter had 45 receiving yards in the opening drive. The second drive then starts with an Alex Barnes run to the right side. After a 40-yard punt, the drive starts at the 25, and Barnes just picked up 8, Brian.
Yeah, off the right side, right behind the senior, Dalton Reisner, the All-American right tackle. We visited him with them yesterday. We'll talk a lot about him, but that's a man that has got his priorities completely in order.
The senior, Reisner from against Colorado, is making his 41st start today. Summit center, most at right tackle. They're moving the pocket, and down goes Thompson all the way back at the 20-yard line. Andrew Martell with his 2nd sack of the season, the junior safety.
Well, here he is. He's going to be coming right off the right side at Thompson. Right here. Here he comes. Watch him right here come. He's coming right off the edge now. And Thompson really, he never felt him. I thought that Martell showed it early, enough for Skylar Thompson to see it. But those are the kind of negative plays that Kansas State has struggled with so far this year.
Now they have third down. They have Justin Silman in the game at running back for the first time. He hasn't had a carry this year. It's a throw on the money, but way short of the first down. Isaiah Zuber on the catch. But he's tackled in space at the 25-yard line by Cassius Gray. That's right where the drive started. Positive pickup on first down. Andrew Martell's sack on second down changed everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great call. Great call by Jason Rollins, the defensive coordinator, to bring Martell off the edge as Thompson was rolling to his left. So it was to the backside of him. And that was the key play in the drive to really stall Kansas State.
Redshirt freshman Andrew Hicks is the punter. First punt of the day, averaging 42 yards a punt. Running up the field at 39-yard line, Greg Campbell Jr. He has broken 2 or 3 tackles, but ultimately wrestled down right at midfield. Excellent field position for UTSA on their second drive. They were helped out a lot by the Andrew Martell sack. 7-0 Kansas State on Fox College Football. (7-0) Kansas State leads. It's time now for the Principal Financial game plan. Brian?
Yeah, for the Roadrunners, I think it's all about growth up front. Young offensive line, get better, and then stop the quarterback power run of Kansas State. K-State throw the ball better. We've seen that from Skylar Thompson, and make some impactful plays on defense. See if they can find any here.
Running play, Jalen Rhodes, and upended after he picked up the first down. Very good field position because of a short punt, a sack on the last drive. And Eli Walker takes Rhodes down after a gain of 14 to the Kansas State 36.
It's right up the middle here. Great cut right behind Burford, the left guard, the freshman.
True freshman at that. A throw to the left side and a catch down to the 29-yard line by Tyke Ogle-Kellogg from Alcoa, Tennessee. A freshman with his 5th reception of the season.
Well, that Jalen Rhodes got this drive started. He only had 5 carries coming into today. He's got 20 career touchdowns for the Roadrunners. He's been banged up, though. He looks healthy here today.
Almost 1,800 career rushing yards as well. Zipped out to the left side. This pass is caught inside the 20-yard line by Kirk Johnson Jr. Sophomore from DeSoto, Texas, just south of Dallas. Well, there's nothing like an offense getting good field position to start a drive.
Well, you start at midfield, and then Grundy, they've had 3 real good plays in a row. Stacking good play after good play behind the inexperienced offensive line.
That went for 11 yards to the 18. Trey Deshawn at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard picked up for Rhodes. Probably not even that.
Just going to get penetration by Deshawn. Did a great job of taking Burford, the freshman left guard, and just stacking him and shedding him to make that play behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's actually a tiny loss, as a matter of fact, on the play by Deshawn. Back to throw, Cordell Grundy rolls out left, has space, has time to make a decision, floats it to the left side, incomplete. Trying to go to Tyke Ogle-Kellogg, who has a catch on this drive.
Yeah, but Walter Neal Jr., the nickelback in your picture there, did a great job of just plastering the receiver. Plastering means just sticking to him. And he didn't take his eyes off his man, and he was able to make that play and really force a poor throw that time by Grundy.
He is a sophomore from Lawton, Oklahoma, Walter Neal Jr.
Yeah. All right. Fans got something to cheer about right here. They got 3rd and long. See what Grundy can do to maybe rescue this drive.
With B.J. Daniels now on the backfield, he stays in to protect. Grundy is throwing in zone, stumbling, and Walter Neal Jr., just involved a moment ago, is involved again, but not from a positive perspective, it would appear, as flags fly on a pass that was intended for UTSA's Kirk Johnson Jr.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You have to throw the ball down the field. The rules favor the offense. Neal just got handsy. I think he just gave him a little push in the end zone right here. Right hand is on him. Actually, just kind of really, Johnson just tripped. But because Neal's hands were on him, they threw the flag. Now, will they pick it up? I don't think so.
There are 2 fouls by the defense. Holding, defense number 15. Penalties declined. Pass interference, defense number 15. Penalties accepted. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
All right, that's it, Mark. I'm not going to say anything good about Walter Neal Jr. today. He comes right out of the game. Bill Snyder pulls him right away. They're down the goal line, so it's a goal line defense, but 2 fouls on the same play. He's got to get his hands off him.
That was 3rd down and long, too. So it moves it to the 3-yard line. UTSA has first and goal as we play with 5:41 left in the first quarter. Kansas State scored on their first drive. This is the Roadrunners' second drive, and they hope to end it with a touchdown, but not yet. B.J. Daniels, a handoff, hit at the line, falls forward for a yard.
It was Trey Deshawn that time coming in, making the play, wrapping B.J. Daniels up, who's a bigger back, about 215 pounds. Going to see a good play inside here. There's Deshawn. Excellent job of getting inside the right guard and getting that penetration.
Deshawn is a big man in the middle, 305 pounds from Horton, Kansas. 2nd and goal to 2. Again, no, play fake. Daniels floats out left side, and it's caught by the big fullback, Halen Stewart. UTSA is on the board on the road in the Little Apple.
That was a great play. They faked the old crossbuck inside, and they snuck the fullback out to the flat. And a guy that looks like a human bowling ball in Halen Stewart. I mean, 5'11", 260 pounds. Grundy throws the touchdown. Watch, here he comes out of the backfield. That's a perfect touch on the ball, like a butterfly with broken wings.
Even under, great one by the way, even under the face mask and the helmet.
Yes.
You can see the grin from ear to ear for big Halen Stewart, the fullback.
Yeah, look at him. He's having some fun right now.
And they are where he's from, back in St. Augustine, Florida. He catches the touchdown. Stewart and UTSA have tied the game. 10 minutes in, UTSA, Kansas State 7-7. With more on the Bill Snyder Family Stadium sideline, here's Leslie McCaslin. Leslie.
Well, guys, when we talked to UTSA this week, they knew that this game was going to come down to the line, in the trenches. They felt like the biggest battle was going to be their defensive line against Kansas State's experienced offensive line. I can tell you already, they seem a little bit frustrated. Bill Snyder this week said that their play was soft. They wanted to come out and prove something. Right now, UTSA is putting up a challenge against them. Their focus was to stop the run. They haven't been able to do that so far, but guys, they've done a lot of things well. So look for the battle today to be between the two lines.
And at the 5-yard line on the kickoff, here's Duke Shelley. Shelley is hit. Ball comes out. Ball is out just over the 15-yard line. And who will win the fight now at the bottom of the pile? It's not for the faint of heart in there as they battle and they scrap. And someone trying to wrestle that ball away, and it's a Kansas State player. Duke Shelley lost it on the return.
Yeah, Shelley came up with it, I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. But this, you're going to see the ball's in his left hand. And this is what happens right here. You see that? When that ball comes out, he's trying to balance himself, and he reached back for that ball. Right there. The ball's out. He knows it. Somehow in that scrum, he was able to get back and fight back for that ball with that right paw and pull it back in. But it's great coverage by the Roadrunner.
From the 16-yard line, Alex Barnes stays on his feet with the initial contact, then wrestled down by linebacker Wes Maruo. This is a special time for him.
Yeah.
He's from Kansas, Hutchinson Community College, and from Goddard in the Wichita area.
We see right now Eric Banks, down. The Roadrunners play a 4-2-5 defense, 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, Tauefa and Maruo. And that guy in front of him, Eric Banks' job is to protect those 2 linebackers.
There's Josiah Tauefa. To follow up on Leslie's point, when we talked with Jason Rollins, the defensive coordinator this week, he said that that was a part of the matchup, the defensive line for UTSA against the Kansas State offensive line he was certainly looking forward to. When you look at the defensive line and certainly the interior of the UTSA defensive line, there is experience, there is ability there. Balin Baker, 27 starts. Kevin Strong Jr. today making his 30th start, and as we noted earlier, he's a preseason All-Conference USA selection.
Yeah, and that circle was Eric Banks, the left end, going up against Dalton Reisner on the play. Here he is. He's just standing, Reisner up, his excellent job using his hands, and I think they're just going to fall on the back of his leg. Yeah, he just take a shot right to the front of the knee at the end, but excellent job of really stacking the tackle with his hands with good technique, not getting any push. And that's what Leslie was talking about. They didn't get good push off the line of scrimmage against Mississippi State. That's what they spent a lot of time this weekend, or this week, doing.
King Newton, son of Nate Newton, is in at defensive tackle right now. Also, Dequarius Henry is on the line for UTSA. Second down and 10. Barnes and backside penetration. Jared Carter-McClellan, junior defensive end. We've seen him involved in a couple of plays today, and he chases down Barnes after a 2-yard run.
Right from the right defensive end spot, just penetrating down the line of scrimmage. That's when the quarterback should pull the ball out and run it when that end is crashed like that.
Kansas State ready to go quickly on 3rd down and 8. Good clean pocket for Skylar Thompson, and he delivers a strike. It's a first down over the 30-yard line. Caught by Isaiah Zuber, the leading receiver this season, coming into today with 7 catches.
Just a quick slant here by Skylar Thompson, and this is the type of throws that the quarterbacks in Kansas State have got to make. You hit Zuber in stride on the quick slant on 3rd down to extend the drive. Zuber, I think, is their best receiver. That's a nice throw by Thompson here to keep this drive alive.
That went for 15 yards. It gives Zuber 2 catches today, 9 on the year for 100 yards on the button. Quarterback run game. Thompson picking his spots. Wrestled down by Josiah Tauaefa. A run for the 33. Gains 4 on first down.
Watch the middle linebacker here. Tauaefa just follow the hair. Just stuffs Alex Barnes on the play and then takes Thompson down at the same time. But that's the first time that we've seen that quarterback draw today.
Thompson has thrown the ball effectively, and that's what he looks to do here, and it's a drop. It was in the hands of Chabastin Taylor.
Pretty good coverage right here.
Cassius Grady on the coverage.
There's Chastain right there. Just going to run the slant. The ball's a little bit behind him. But still, it's in his hands. Bill Snyder says they got to catch it better, not just throw it better as well.
They had started the day, Kansas State, with 6 straight completions before Chabastin Taylor could not haul in the 7th pass attempt of the day for Skylar Thompson.
They're showing this blitz up at the top. Inside linebacker, Maruo.
Option barely off before the play clock ran out. Pitch to Alex Barnes, and Barnes finds the edge and picks up the first down at the 44.
Not just the old pitch option. Thompson just came down the line of scrimmage, just pitched it here to Barnes. Just got it out there, and you can see they got a good block that time on the middle linebacker, Tauaefa. And Barnes picks up the first down, so two first downs so far in this drive.
Reisner had the block and a fumbled handoff. They had just run for 7 yards on 3rd down at 6, and a missed exchange. That's the second time the ball has come out in the last couple of minutes for Kansas State, but it is recovered by the Wildcats.
Well, you're going to watch the handoff right here. I mean, Barnes doesn't think he's getting the ball, but Thompson is giving it to him. Just miscommunication on who was getting the ball on that play. Give Bill Snyder not a reason to sleep too well tonight. The ball on the ground twice here on this drive.
Second down and 12, play fake, and a throw down the seam, and it is caught to the 30-yard line by Alex Barnes and inside the UTSA 30. He is an effective receiver in addition to his capabilities as a running back.
Yeah, he is going to just run the seam route right here. Here he is coming right down into your living room on the seam. And he's got great protection, and now the throw. Looked like Brendan Johnson was in coverage, the nickel back on that play.
Went for 30 yards. A handoff. Dalvin Warmack bounced to the outside, pushed out of bounds with some pop when he's pushed out of bounds inside the Roadrunners 25 of the 24.
Well, so far in this drive, Skylar Thompson is doing what they want him to do. Making some good throws on this drive, running the offense efficiently, getting the ball to their key playmakers, whether it's pitching it or throwing it on third downs.
Justin Silman is in at running back. 207 career carries. None this year. Silman stays in pass protection. And a pass for Zach Reuter. There is a flag down. Pass for Reuter was incomplete, but there clearly was some contact between he and Tedrick McGee, and the flag comes in late.
Well, they're running that slant again, and McGee got his hands all over him.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 27. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
You can see Frank Wilson's not going to tolerate the mistakes on defense right now. He was diving after the receiver that time, trying to, out of position, trying to grab him to slow him up.
Key play on this drive is a 30-yard pass to Alex Barnes from the 18 on first down out of the end zone. Looking for Zuber, but out of the end zone.
In baseball, that's called a long strike. You know, just a long foul ball. I mean, you got to keep that ball in bounds and give Zuber a chance to win the one-on-one battle.
A long, loud strike, as it were.
Yeah. He looked left. He didn't like it left. He came all the way back to the other side, but you got to keep that ball in bounds.
Thompson completed his first 6 passes. Now 7 of 9 as we play in the final minute of the first quarter. Tie game. Only other meeting, 2015. Kansas State beat UTSA 30-3. Delay blitz coming in. And Silman has his first carry of the season. And Silman, the senior from Union High School in Tulsa, bounces off to the left side for a couple.
Good job up front. Good job up front by the Roadrunners that time. That's Nate Newton's son right there, King Newton, doing a good job. They blitzed off the edge, and Newton comes off that block. I wonder what King Newton against Nate Newton would look like in the backyard.
Yeah, some battles, I bet.
I played with Big Nate in Dallas for a couple years. I know how nasty he was.
3rd and 8. King Newton had to stop on second down. To throw, Skylar Thompson. Back in the end zone, overthrown for Dalton Schoen, who has a touchdown reception this year. Their only touchdown in the passing game coming into play today.
And that's another shot, though. Another chance that time to get the ball to Schoen, and Thompson just, they got to throw the ball better. I mean, that ball's out of bounds, out of the back of the end zone. It's not where it needs to be. Schoen had a beat. Chance for a big play. And he's patting himself on the helmet knowing that that's his play to make.
Schoen had the only touchdown of the passing game last week. Zuber had one in the first week, by the way, against South Dakota. So there have been 2 this year. Now Blake Lynch, and Blake Lynch from 33 yards goes up top with the high five with his holder Colby Moore as he drills the 33-yard field goal. And at the end of the first quarter, Kansas State has scored to restore their lead. They had a touchdown on the opening drive. UTSA responded on their second drive. And now after the opening 15 minutes in Manhattan, Kansas at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, it's Kansas State 10, UTSA 7. One quarter done. Kansas State 10, UTSA 7. It's Fort Riley Day here in Manhattan. Fort Riley, a salute to the military. That's a few miles west of Bill Snyder Family Stadium. The fellas in uniform after the helicopter flyover. Several are taking in the game, and they've seen a competitive, entertaining opening 15 minutes. Those first 15 minutes capped by the drive that led to Blake Lynch's 33-yard field goal. And here he is kicking off to start the second quarter. And the kickoff carries Brady, that is, all the way back into the end zone. And he runs it up to the 15.
On that play, he could have fair caught that ball down there at the goal line. And the Roadrunners could get the ball out to the 25. That's a new rule in college football. Try and save on some of the injuries that have occurred on the kickoff play. So Grundy is going to start this drive from his own 15-yard line. Not great field position.
Adele Grundy threw a touchdown pass in the first quarter, went 3 for 6, 20 yards. Rhodes had a couple of nice runs.
Now, they never stop moving. And there's a rhythm to what they do. But the heat doesn't slow them down here. We'll see in the fourth quarter if they can still move like that.
Oh, they can. Grundy keeping. And he's in trouble in the backfield. The play is strung out by Duke Shelley. And it's a big loss on first down because of the tackle by Duke Shelley at corner.
Well, Shelley came up from his corner position, and he had just attacked the play here. He's going to attack the outside leg of Grundy. There it is. Gets the inside leg. and takes him down for a 4-yard loss. And I think that might be one of the few tackle for losses that they have made today. We have said that they have not had many impactful plays so far this season. 1 sack so far this season, 1 interception. And Blake Seiler, their new defensive coordinator, has not been happy with how they have impacted the game so far.
Yeah, let's go. Timeout. Offense. It's their first charge of the half. 30-second timeout.
UTSA's first timeout after Duke Shelley and the 4-yard tackle for loss. UTSA is second down at 14 coming up. It's 10-7 Kansas State here over UTSA. Let's talk USC Texas. Part 1. Vince Young dazzled at the Rose Bowl. Part 2. A double overtime thriller. Get ready for the trilogy. USC Texas tonight, 8 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Trojans got to be a lot better than they were against Stanford last week. Put up just a 3 spot in that game. David Shaw had his group ready to play.
Texas, meanwhile, starting this year with the loss to Maryland and then having to hang on for a win against Tulsa last week.
Shot here of the offensive line of the Roadrunners. A lot of inexperienced guys. Number 74 in your picture is just a freshman, Spencer Burford. They're high on him. Out of San Antonio, right there in his hometown. Trying to get better each day.
Look at that difference in the experience of the respective offensive line units. 16 starts for UTSA's at the FBS level going into today. Out of the timeout, a plunge off the left side. Walter Neal Jr. with the tackle of P.J. Daniels. Daniels gained 6 yards.
Pretty good block that time by Burford, along with his left tackle. Movement up front. Pretty good job by Burford. Themselves about 3 yards on the play.
Travion Shannon, that left tackle from Clarksdale, Mississippi, that helped out.
Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College transfer.
3rd down and 8. Cordell Grundy on the UTSA offense. He escapes some pressure. He throws across his body on the run. That is a good pass, and the catch is made by Tyke Ogle-Kellogg up at the 40-yard line.
Well, they had a corner cat blitz that time. Here he's going to come. He's coming on this corner blitz right now. And Grundy does a good job of avoiding it. Picked up by Daniels. He steps up. Eyes down the field, though. That's the key. When he stepped up, he didn't drop his eyes to see that corner. Kept him down the field and located Kellogg on the play.
It's the longest play from scrimmage today in the first 17 minutes of the game for UTSA. 24 yards from the 17 to the 41. To the freshman from Alcoa, Tennessee. Now this is a reverse. And running it to the right side of the field. Oh, and what a hit! Down goes Greg Campbell Jr. And the hit is delivered by Eli Walker at safety, who's playing today because Denzel Goolsby's a bit banged up. And Walker with a punishing hit.
Well, here comes the reverse. And Eli Walker's number 7. And this play stops right there. Wow. You know, he's getting a chance to play because of the injury to Denzel Goolsby. And those are the kind of hits that get you more playing time. That was vicious. This is a vicious stick by Eli Walker. That will get everybody's attention in the film room tomorrow. Let's hope that Campbell's okay after that one.
Late play clock winding down, and UTSA.
Offense, second charge to the half.
And both timeouts have been on this drive. There is a timeout. K-State at home up 3. College football on Fox is brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation. Buckle up day or night. Front seater back. It saves lives. Click it or ticket. A message from TxDOT. From Manhattan, Kansas, Kansas State and UTSA, the Big 12 and Conference USA meeting in a non-conference game. Game number 3 of the season for both teams. Kansas State a win over South Dakota, a loss to Mississippi State. Meanwhile, UTSA with a 49-7 loss to Arizona State, then a 37-20 loss to Baylor last week. Competitive opening 18 minutes that features a 3-point Kansas State lead. Second down and 9. Grundy on a rollout and a run, and he will move for the 42. scooting upfield before Wyatt Hubert forced him out of bounds. Not much positive yardage gain there, if any.
Well, we have talked about Wyatt Hubert quite a bit here today. Nice job chasing all the way to the sideline. That's what Bill Snyder said. He said sometimes he goes the wrong direction. You know, and when you go the wrong direction, you go really a long ways away. That time he went in the right direction. And that's how he practices every day, full speed. Just chasing everybody to the sideline. That's what Bill Snyder loves about Wyatt Hubert, the redshirt freshman defensive end.
Said most players don't have an effort level during the week that matches what they have on Saturday, but in Hubert's case, you wouldn't know the difference between the effort of practice and the effort of game day on Saturday. Marker down.
Delay game. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Brian, it's been a problem on the drive. They've had to take a timeout because the play clock's been running down a couple of times, and with only one timeout left, they end up with a delay of game penalty here.
Well, you're better off taking a penalty right now than taking the 5 yards, where you really put yourself in a precarious position on 3rd and 14 right now. 3rd and 9 is a little bit more manageable. And I'm sure that's time for Hubert right here to get after the quarterback and show some pass rush ability. Only 1 sack on the season for the Wildcats.
UTSA did convert a 3rd down and long on this drive with a 24-yard pass play to Tyke Ogle-Kellogg.
Here comes Hubert.
And it is thrown out in the flat to Daniels, and Daniels makes a move. And he got back to the line of scrimmage before the delay of game penalty and picked up a little bit more. But it will be a punting situation after just a 7-yard pass play to the 43.
Well, it was a good play against that inside twist stunt that Hubert came free on. Daniels picked up whatever yards he can for this punting situation. But they got to 3rd and long, and that's what they're trying to stay out of.
Yanni Rutsis, excellent punter. 42 yards in boot this year.
Great punt.
Especially since it was under duress. He has one 40-yarder today and a fair catch for Isaiah Zuber on this punt. 45 yards on that boot. 10-18 left. Second quarter. Kansas State 10, UTSA 7. Here's Leslie McCaskey.
Well, guys, the Wildcats made a change on offense as well as far as their coaches this year. Andre Coleman, who's the new offensive coordinator, spent the first 2 games up in the booth. Today, he's on the sidelines. Quarterbacks coach Colin Klein, he's up in the booth. Instead, really, Coleman said, we have a lot of young guys. It allows me to be more vocal. He has been exactly that, guys, meeting with all his specialists, even offensive lineman Dalton Reisner. Right now, they're telling the O-line they need to be better on first down. Guys, also, Alex Delton just came back through a few passes to warm up. It'll be interesting if we see him at all.
It's still Skylar Thompson, though, right now at quarterback, and he'll hand the ball off on first down from the 12 for Kansas State. Alex Barnes, tackled by Les LaRue, a run of 3.
What we haven't really seen, we only seen one run so far, one design run by Skylar Thompson. We've seen a lot of Alex Barnes. Alex Barnes came in with about 40% of the touches on Kansas State's offense after the first 2 weeks.
42 combined rushes and receptions of the 104 rushes and completed passes for Kansas State this year. Now we see a run, though, by the quarterback. The fake was sold well to the left side by Barnes, Brian, and then the run off the right side by Thompson doesn't pick up much. A couple. Those plays from scrimmage this year, Barnes by far leading in the Big 12 with 42 touches going into today.
Skylar Thompson also 5th on that list.
Yeah.
James Hasty from Baylor.
Khalil Herbert from victorious Kansas today.
Kansas up to a 2-1 start.
Kansas State trying to go 2-1 with a win today against UTSA. They have a 3rd down and 5 in the second quarter at their own 17.
We'll take the timeout.
There was certainly a shout for it.
Timeout. Offense. First of the half. 30-second timeout.
UTSA burned 2 timeouts on offense on their drive a moment ago. Now Kansas State uses one up on this drive, but understandable. It's an important play. It's a chance to pick up a first down. It's Jacob O'Brien at 3rd and 5, and a chance to move the sticks.
Yeah, but Frank Wilson is stepping into that huddle of the defense. Of course, Leslie talked about him before the game. He's 38 freshmen and redshirt freshmen on the roster this year. Very young. He's stepping into the defensive meeting rooms. He's helping out with the scout team right now, and he's pumping his defense up to see if they can get this stop and force a punting situation.
Right now, let's look at the Southwest Airlines Big 12 Players of the Week.
Wow, Kyler Murray. What a start he has had at the starting quarterback of Oklahoma. Joe Deneen Jr., one of the great linebackers in this conference. Cavante Turpin took back that punt against SMU. Not sure how anybody would, or why anybody would punt to Cavante Turpin. I don't think Ohio State will this evening at AT&T Stadium. They take on the Buckeyes.
Big matchup later on tonight. But the matter at hand now is Kansas State 4 for 6 today on 3rd down. After a timeout, they need 5 yards.
They're showing blitz here to Skylar Thompson. They come.
And it's picked up. And Thompson throws in an open receiver from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Isaiah Zuber turns and heads upfield near the 30-yard line. The 3rd down conversion moves the sticks for Kansas State.
Plenty of protection that time by Thompson. 6-man pressure, but they protected well, and Zuber came back to the ball just fine. Watch the protection up front here. Very well picked up. One of the most experienced offensive lines in college football. Did a good job of recognizing.
Going into today, 124 combined starts. Running play, Skylar Thompson chopped down to the 34. After the pass for 12 yards to Zuber, a run by the quarterback for 5. C.J. Levine on the stop.
They had mentioned, well, you watch this play right here. Here you get a block here, and you get a block there. Look at how patient Thompson is. 2 lead blocks by the H-back and the tailback. He just waits for those guys to pick off some road runners and finds himself 5 yards.
Dalton Schoen went in motion on 2nd down. Tight end Blaze Gammon goes out in the pattern and they throw it to him. The big tight end from Blue Valley Northwest High School in Overland Park. The junior with a grab down the seam for a 1st down.
He's just going to come right here, right into the middle of the field. Nobody picks him up. Pitch and catch, Thompson to Gammon that time. The State not
14 yards to Blaze Gammon. Thompson, 1st down, his own 48. The deep ball comes out from Skylar Thompson, underthrown, and looking back into the sun. It was going to be tough on the underthrown ball back into the sun for Isaiah Zuber, and he couldn't haul it in.
Sometimes you do want to throw it. You do want to make it underthrown. As we take a look here at Clayton Johnston, who's down. He slipped on the field along with Zuber. But sometimes you want to underthrow it so that the offensive player has the advantage of coming back to the ball. Zuber comes back. You don't actually practice that catch a lot. Falling down, coming back to it. But maybe they should rehearse those kind of plays a little bit.
Hard to replicate in the course of practice. See the career numbers for Isaiah Zuber. Led them last year, 51 catches, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns. Running play, nicely done. Waiting for the hole to open up, Alex Barnes.
So patient going to his left that time, just waiting for that opening.
10 yards on the play.
Watch his eyes. His eyes are up right now, just stutter, stutter, stutter. Got a good block on Tawa Efa, the middle linebacker, and then saw the lane. Patient, such a good quality, great backs.
Barnes has already graduated with a degree in kinesiology. Did extra workouts and an internship with a personal trainer in Manhattan. Worked with a personal trainer and did workouts on top of his internship with a personal trainer over the offseason. Thompson again, the deep ball, and this one leads the receiver, and he tries to drop it right into Dalton Schoen, and he does! Touchdown on the bomb for Schoen in Kansas State.
That has been the missing ingredient from this offense in the first 2 weeks of the season. The long bomb to Schoen right here. He's just going outside fade to the inside receiver. And he beats Brendan Johnson on the play. The throw was absolutely perfect by that man, Skylar Thompson.
The vertical passing game making an appearance for Kansas State. 42 yards to Dalton Schoen with his second touchdown reception of the year. It feels great for Skylar Thompson. Kansas State now up by 10. It's time now for the Coyote playbook. And Brian, a lot of good things are happening in the throwing game for Kansas State.
Well, the deep ball is in the game right now. Skylar Thompson has been accurate. This throw right here has been perfect in stride to Alex Barnes down the seam. And this last touchdown throw to Schoen was exactly where it needs to be. Over the outside shoulder like that. You practice that throw every single day. They were practicing that throw in warm-ups today.
Yes.
But that's what has been missing, that balance. You know, Bill Snyder said, we haven't really given our fans here much to get excited about. Well, that throw should get the fans excited.
I think he referred to their balance yesterday when we talked to him as having 0 and 0 and rushing and passing. But a lot of positive things happening on offense, especially on that 8-play, 88-yard drive. Now Matt Gendry has a good return, and a marker comes down at the end of the return as well, which took UTSA over the 30. Let's see where it all ends up after Eddie Shelton tells us about the penalty.
During the return, holding, return team number 18. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It will move UTSA back as we go to Sam Farber in Los Angeles with a Fox College Football game break.
Guys, SMU is a 37-point underdog today at number 19. Michigan probably should have been happy going into half, trailing by only 7. Instead, they go for some more points. Ben Hicks picked off. Josh Metellus runs it back 73 yards on the final play from scrimmage of the first half. 21-7, Michigan leads at halftime. Mark and Brian?
Well, Sonny Dykes won't like that for SMU. Running play. We see B.J. Daniels tote it. Daniels started and had 90 yards on the ground last week against Baylor. Sam Sizlov with the tackle. And by the way, D.J. Gillens, a transfer from SMU, just referenced on that game break, is in at quarterback now. He's from Jacksonville, Florida. Circuitous path, Brian. Wisconsin, Pearl River Community College in Mississippi, SMU, UTSA.
Well, he's a lot of stops, but he's happy to be here. Al Borges helped recruit him here to UTSA to give him a chance, and his first completion as a Roadrunner was on that throw. Well, first completion today. Came in with 10 attempts on the season.
And just 3 completions.
Just 3 completions.
That went to Greg Campbell Jr., who got popped on that last drive. Tackled by A.J. Parker there.
Well, they had Frank Morris at quarterback here. He tore his ACL. They really needed some help at the position. They got Grundy to transfer from Northeast Oklahoma A&M, and they found D.J. Gillens last stop at SMU.
Pass up to the 30. This is 3rd down and 1.
That's a good push. Good push up front by that offensive line. Burford over there and Shannon moving the line of scrimmage, getting that first down. Those are the little things that this program is looking for. Nice job by Burford. Taking Deshaun out, getting a little bit of an alley for a big back. Inexperienced as this group is, I thought that they played well together. I think they've been well coached by Frank Wilson's offense, and they do a lot of fundamental things well.
Trying to keep the drive moving, starting with a first down and 10 now to 33 after 1 conversion. And a catch on a rollout pass to Greg Campbell Jr.
Good to see Campbell Jr. back out there. He was the one that took the shot from Eli Walker a couple series ago. They're shaking up a little bit, but he's back looking good, and that was a good throw that time. There's Eli Walker starting today for the injury to Denzel Goolsby.
UTSA came into today averaging 238 yards of offense per game, one of the lowest numbers in FBS. They're at 91 yards and didn't do a whole lot to add to it on a snap from the 37.
Well, you know, this defense last week at Kansas State, they gave up 389 yards rushing to Mississippi State. Bill Snyder, he was scratching his head, and all these years here, he couldn't remember a defense that gave up that many rushing yards. We looked it up. There was one other game, Mark, where they surrendered 400 yards, but That was not Bill Snyder looking football, giving up 10 yards a carry last week to Mississippi State.
Some time ago, that game against Nebraska. 39-yard line, UTSA, 3rd down and 4. At that bunch formation of receivers on the left side, that's the direction that Gillens is looking, but he runs it instead, and filling a hole and denying Gillens a chance to run for the first down is defensive tackle Jordan Mitty.
Well, he had great protection up front, and he thought he saw an alley up front, and he thought he would take it, but Kansas State closed it quickly.
Number 39.
Fought off the block.
Yeah, rallying to the football that time. That time it was Mitty rallying right there, 91 in your picture, rallying to the ball. That man right there, Zuber, you have got to be careful punting to him. Wow, what a punt.
Again, Kansas State got close to it, but Roots is still a big leg. Might have outkicked the coverage, though. Look at the room for Zuber. Zuber already has 1 punt return for a touchdown this year, and he will carry this one into UTSA territory. Great punt, even better return. Roots has actually had to help out on the tackle, which is well inside the 50-yard line. Good field position for Kansas State, already owners of a 10-point lead at home against the Roadrunners. 3:20 left first half. Big drive coming up for Kansas State, Brian. Kansas State can extend the lead to 3 scores. UTSA is going to dig in, looking for a hold here.
Yeah, and they're looking at Skylar Thompson here to continue what he's doing today. Taking care of the football, making some big plays down the field. They'd love to get something on the board here in the final 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this first half.
A good field position is set up by Isaiah Zuber's 39-yard punt return. Low snap, UTSA 48-yard line is where it starts. Thompson just had a 42-yard touchdown pass to Dalton Schoen on the last drive. He will run, he will find room, he will turn on the field and pick up a first down. A scramble of 15 yards to the UTSA 33 and out of bounds.
Good job of the back right here on the play. Dalvin Warmack picking up the blitz, allowing Thompson to get out. You see the athletic ability he has. I mean, both quarterbacks can really run for Kansas State out on the edge.
But we've only seen one quarterback all first half. Dalvin Warmack will run the ball. The snap from the 33. The drive forward for 3 yards. Josiah Talaefa. We've said his name. We'll keep on saying it when UTSA's defense is on the field.
Well, he can find the football, and that's his job at middle linebacker. Missed a few games last year with an injury. Otherwise, he would have put up, you know, tackles north of 100 by the end of last season.
At 115 2 years ago as a freshman. Ball comes out quickly, and it's on target to Isaiah Zuber.
First down to Zuber. He's having a good day. Involved in his passing game here. They had one chance down the field where he slipped, had both hands on the ball. We'd like to have that one back. Like all offenses in the Big 12, you got to be able to play hurry up, up-tempo, call the plays at the line of scrimmage like Thompson just did.
4 catches, 41 yards now today for Isaiah Zuber after that grab that went for 8. And more importantly, from a Kansas State perspective, moved the chains. Play clock is winding down. 4 seconds. Snap off in time. Again in the direction of Zuber. And caught again. Inbounds at the 14. Another 8-yard pass play.
I beat Cassius Grady on the play just on a comeback. Corners aren't real tall here at UTSA. A lot of 5'9" corners. Trying to take advantage of that. Running some comebacks here for Thompson.
Clock moving, 2nd and 2. Thompson waiting, looking, biding his time. It opens up. And he scrambles all the way down to the 5-yard line before C.J. Levine brings him down on that quarterback run. Marker down 2.
So patient on the carry. Just waiting for that hole to open up. Looks like it's going backwards against Kansas State.
They had 13 penalties in the opener against South Dakota, the most for Bill Snyder.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty. We play 2nd down.
Most in over a decade. They only had 2 penalties last week. They have 2 today. We talked yesterday, and Bill said, look, the key to to trying to limit penalties when you work and practice during the week is you got to have as much good on good as possible. In other words, the ones need to play the ones because you don't win the one-on-one battles on game day the way you might against a scout team during the week.
Well, the reason why you hold, here's a graphic from week 1 to week 2, how they improved the penalties, the turnovers, and the drops. He liked that, even though Mississippi State had their way with the Wildcats last week.
Penalty moved the ball back to the 22-yard line. That's where it was when this set of downs started that featured that first 8-yard pass play to Zuber. Here comes Tala'efa. They pick him up.
There he is.
And then Tala'efa sheds the block and drives into Skylar Thompson for the tackle at the 15.
Well, he took on the center that time, Holtorf, and just fought off him. Blitzing right up the middle. Here he is coming right after the center. Timed it perfectly. Got off Holtorf. Disengaged. I mean, that's the old Oklahoma drill right there.
Yeah.
Come in, take on the center, shed him, get rid of him, and then take down the ball carrier. Thompson on the play. That's technique right there. Just a clinic.
Even as an offensive lineman, you appreciated the work of that D-line. Dropped him for a loss at the 25. Now 3rd down and long. Thompson standing in. Rolls left. Throws not perfectly on balance and sails it out of bounds over the head of Alex Barnes. The penalty short-circuited things, Brian.
It did. It did. And that's what Bill Snyder was saying. When you were saying, like, get big on big, ones against one. The reason why you're guilty of penalties is usually you're out of position. So you grab or you hold or you clinch. Bill Snyder, he's been around this thing a long time.
Yes, sir.
There's been a lot of coaches that have come and learned from Bill Snyder. It's the fundamentals of the game. And he said you got to be as disciplined off the field as you are on the field.
It is a line drive field goal attempt for Blake Lynch. And Blake Lynch connects on his 2nd field goal of the day. And the lead is extended on that 43-yard boot for Lynch. The high five way up for Colby Moore. 20-7 the lead. Day 7. Blake Lynch just connected on a 2nd field goal of the day a moment ago. And that extends the lead to its biggest for Kansas State, up by 13 points.
I was just looking at the cheerleaders at Kansas State. They got a lot of white teeth, man.
Yes.
I mean, some pearly whites there. They're in the sun out there today. I don't think they're complaining about this 90-degree-plus heat.
We see Nick McClellan from West Des Moines, Iowa, kick off. They're catching the end zone. Matt Guidry came over to make sure that Brendan Brady didn't run it out. Coming up on the FS1 College Football Halftime Show, there are highlights of the early action, including for the Big 12, the first conference game of the season, Oklahoma and Iowa State, and a preview of USC and Texas, which is this evening on Fox. UTSA had to use 2 timeouts on a drive on offense earlier in the quarter, Brian. They have 1 timeout, 43 seconds left, ball on their 25.
Well, we had just reported that SMU was 14-7 against Michigan, and they had a fumble return for a touchdown in a situation just like this before the half. I think Frank Wilson should just try to get out of this halftime without any mistakes right now.
DJ Gillens running the ball. Oh, it came out. There is a mistake, and it's picked up on the bounce by Kendall Adams.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there, Mark. You can't be careless with the football in that situation. That's the first fumble recovery for Kansas State this year. Kendall Adams, the senior safety, shaking up on the play.
In his career, Kendall Adams is now part of 8 turnovers,
Look at that ball.
5 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries.
He didn't even get poked out. He just lost it running it. Adams with the fumble recovery. That's the last thing that you wanted to do right here. I mean, 20-7 game, you did not want to give the ball back to Kansas State, who's got 2 timeouts left here in the last 34 seconds. That was just a careless play by Gillens. He was getting an opportunity to play late in the 2nd quarter here.
Yeah, that was his 2nd series. Kendall Adams is from Fort Worth, Texas, All Saints Episcopal High School. He's had quite a career at Kansas State. All Big 12 preseason selection. Again, now 8 turnovers he's been involved in. This time here in Manhattan, 5 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries.
You know, and Thompson saying, okay, defense got the ball back for us. I got to go finish the half on a good note here.
Like Lynch told us yesterday, he can make one from 55 yards. Where they are right now would be 51 or 52. But they've got timeouts. They've got 34 seconds to go. And 2 timeouts.
I think Skylar Thompson is thinking about a touchdown here before Blake Lynch walks out on the field.
Alex Barnes picks up Josiah Tawaefa's blitz. Thompson fought out of a tackle, running to the sideline, tripped up, flag down. It's a good tackle by Tedrick McGee. It kept him from getting out of bounds on the run, but the clock stops anyway because of the penalty flag that came in.
Shoestring tackle that time by McGee.
Rattled his cage a little bit as we see him going off. Now we're waiting for the penalty from the penalty call from Eddie Shelton.
There is no foul for blocking the back. Second down.
11 yards on the play.
11-yard run to the 23.
Well, here's the tackle right here by Tedrick McGee. Just gets the left shoelace that time of Thompson.
On a first down, the clock stops to move the chains.
Blake Lynch, 7 for 8 so far this season, 2 for 2 this afternoon. The walk-on kicker that earned a scholarship less than 2 weeks ago.
.26 seconds, 23-yard line. Skylar Thompson throwing. Oh, wide open end zone. Isaiah Zuber turns, catches, and they turn the mistake by UTSA into a touchdown right before the half.
The corner fell down. Right here, the corner is going to fall down on the play. He's going to fall on the play. Avery Jackson. And so Zuber is wide open. And it's just one mistake after another here in the final 43 seconds for the Roadrunners.
It is a stomach punch of a mistake for UTSA to fumble the ball, recovered by Kansas State. 2 plays later, a touchdown.
Well, I said on the opening drive there with 43 seconds, don't make any mistakes here before halftime. You got 1 timeout. You don't have a lot of clock left. Just don't make any mistakes here and give this an opportunity to really stretch this lead. But, you know, we saw Gillens put the ball on the ground, and then Skylar Thompson made him pay. And he's had a heck of a first half.
And so is Zuber.
Zuber's got some hops, man. He almost jumped right over Gammon.
Zuber has clearly, as he's been all season long, and as he was last year, the preferred target of the quarterbacks of the Kansas State offense. 13 completions today, and Zuber's got 6 of the 13 passes that have been complete.
Well, he basically won the game week 1 against South Dakota. He had the 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, then he caught a 10-yard touchdown pass from Thompson. And
quarterback sneak a moment ago, converted the first down. Looks like the Dunlap has moved over to left tackle, Brian, and Grainer's in the game at right guard.
Oh, good cut.
Yeah, great cut. Darting off to the left side. First down, Jalen Rhodes.
Go right behind Dunlap here, the new left tackle on this play. And you're going to see he's going to bounce it right on the outside here. Good job of caving it in. Good job by the fullback that time, Stewart. A couple of good runs here to start. There's Stewart, the fullback, who caught the touchdown pass in that first quarter. Only score of the day here for the Roadrunners.
Rhodes has 30 yards on the drive. He's getting a rest right now with B.J. Daniels carrying the ball in the middle. Down to the 35 for a gain of 2 before he's brought down by Sam Sizlove at linebacker.
Sizlove is 41 right in your picture right here. Been around this program for a long time, a senior, 4th year, finally getting a chance to start. That's the best play he's made inside here today.
He's played over 40 games, but only the last 3 of them have been starts for the senior from Argyle, Texas, just outside of Denton. Running play. And some tough running. We've seen it from Jalen Rhodes on this drive. We see it here from B.J. Daniels, who certainly didn't go down initially when he was stood up near the 30. Now there are indications by Kansas State defenders that the ball came out at the end. At this moment, there's nothing that leads you to believe that the officials
Forward progress was stopped. Third down.
He's short of it by a couple of yards, though, Bolden.
Well, I thought Walter Neal Jr. was trying to strip that ball out of Daniel's hands. But they're saying that the forward progress was stopped by the time he did it. Right here, the Roadrunners trying to establish themselves on the run with the run, trying to win that line of scrimmage.
Yard line, 32. They're 4-7. UTSA on third down today. Second effort. Yeah, Daniels is short. DeQuan Patton delivered a pretty big hit that prevents him from picking up the first down. They have 4th and 1. They look like they're getting ready to go quickly.
They're going to hurry up here. Got the play already called.
Might be a QB sneak again. Quarterback sneak. Oh, driven backwards. Grundy's still on his feet, and down he goes. Coming in to stop him is Eli Walker all the way back at the 35-yard line, but the defensive line initially did the job of the line of scrimmage, Baldy.
They stacked it up. They stacked it up. There was major penetration up front. They got underneath the pads, lifted them up, and then when Grundy tried to spin out, Eli Walker made the play. Now here comes, right here. There's Walker on the play. We saw him with a big hit in the second quarter, and now on 4th down, making that stop. Eyes in the right place, taking Grundy down for that loss and stopping that drive. I'd say Walker's done a good job of filling in here for Denzel Goolsby today and stepping up.
Turnover on downs gives Kansas State the ball at their own 35 for their first action on offense in the second half. Running play, Alex Barnes, and a la Jalen Rhodes on the first play of the previous drive for UTSA. He takes and absorbs several hits before he goes down.
The guys are spending too much time trying to pull the ball out of Alex Barnes' hands and not tackle him. Almost 300 yards of offense for Kansas State, their best production in any half so far this year.
Yeah, they've been averaging 310 yards per game in the first 2 games on offense. And crank out 290 in the first half. And a 7-yard run by big Alex Barnes. Now Thompson thought about a pass, but it opens up for him on the run, and it really opens up. Moving to 35 and then tumbles over. C.J. Levine takes him down, 34-yard line of the Roadrunners.
And I think that Thompson helped himself out by faking like he was going to throw. He comes up to the line of scrimmage, he's going to cock his arm, then he pulls it down. Eyes are up on a swivel right here, looking for the alley. Another big run, a big play from Thompson. We've seen him all day today make.
Baldy found that alley for a run of 24 yards, and now Barnes, after initial contact near the line of scrimmage, continues to drive forward and is inside the UTSA 30 to the 28.
Well, he's not an easy guy to tackle.
Nope.
We see Kevin Strong Sr. or Jr. down on the ground.
A senior defensive lineman.
Yeah, senior defensive lineman.
He was a preseason All-Conference USA selection.
Sure is.
Second teamer All-Conference USA in 2017 from Cleveland, Texas. He is down, and there's a timeout on the field with 9.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Kansas State leading UTSA by 20. College football on Fox is brought to you by Coyote. We dig dirt. And by the Texas Department of Transportation. Don't mess with Texas means don't litter. At Bill Snyder Family Stadium, it's 91 degrees today, heat index 95. Kansas State 27, UTSA 7. Kevin Strong Jr. just came off the field, defensive lineman for UTSA. Kansas State is on a drive now that started after a failed 4th down attempt for UTSA. They've moved 38 yards. It's all been running plays, 3 of them, and now a 4th running play on the drive. And it's Skylar Thompson who faked out everybody. Touchdown, Kansas State. Everyone went to Alex Barnes. No one went to the quarterback who goes in untouched from 27 yards out.
Well, they faked a lot of people out. And almost everybody on UTSA's defense was faked out, including the middle linebacker, Josiah Tauefa, and that was just great ball handling right here. Here's Barnes, and then there goes Thompson. And that's called the the moving sidewalk, running right down the alley there for Thompson. That's a great job of ball handling.
Touchdown run for Skylar Thompson. Alex Barnes did a great job of selling the fake. Let's get into more of that as the third quarter unfolds. The third quarter now that sees Kansas State up by 27. Skylar Thompson had the run, but the Baldy breakdown will show that Alex Barnes was really big selling the fake in this touchdown run. Baldy breakdown.
Well, here's Barnes here, but watch the two linebackers come this way to go play Barnes. Now, Thompson's looking up. He sees everybody running, and now he's able to take the ball down right here, make one man miss in the secondary, C.J. Levine, and he was off to the races. But it was excellent ball handling between Barnes and that man Thompson to take the eyes off of the defense that time.
Kickoff, Nick McClellan. A little shorter than what we saw earlier. Run for the 1-yard line by Matt Guidry. Over the 20, hit hard, wrestled down. Yesterday when we talked to Bill Snyder about Alex Barnes, he told us he's invested in what he's doing all of the time, which can be semi-uncommon for running backs. Whether he's carrying the ball, involved in pass protection, or running routes, you always get his best effort. And how about selling a fake in tandem with Skylar Thompson on that touchdown for Kansas State?
Well, one thing you're going to get here at Kansas State under Bill Snyder is you're going to get a team, a true team. And he said individually, he thought this team had a great upside. Because individually, they were playing well, but they weren't playing well together. And that's an example right there. Alex Barnes selling that fake, taking the defense with him, and opening it up for Skylar Thompson.
Now UTSA facing a 27-point deficit. Starts from their own 21. Jalen Rhodes is bouncing it outside. He got one block on the edge, but there were just too many numbers defensively in terms of outnumbering blockers to open things up for Jalen Rhodes to do much on the edge. He picked up 5.
Well, you've seen a healthy Jalen Rhodes today, and that man, Eli Walker, has stepped up and really made his presence felt in this defense today. He got that tackle there out on the sideline chasing him down.
Eli Walker leading Kansas State in tackles today. Has 6 as of that stop of Jalen Rhodes, and Rhodes will carry it again. And there isn't the room inside that there was outside previously for Rhodes.
You know, and for UTSA, every one of these reps against Kansas State, now we see the fullback Halen Stewart down, and we've seen a lot of injuries here to start this second half. And you play against 3 straight big Power 5 teams in a row. That's the big concern for Frank Wilson, is physically holding up.
Especially when you consider that he has a very young roster.
Yeah.
And those guys have to hold up physically. 66 of 109 players on their roster, Brian, are underclassmen. But he said he has to play them because they've recruited better athletes, and so they're better than some of the upperclassmen they have.
Yep.
They've got to play them, and they're going to have to take their lumps.
They're taking their lumps here in this game, but I think at the same time, they're improving. And I think you'll see that in their conference play.
Which will start in 2 weeks at home against UTEP, and then they go to Rice first weekend in October. Those are their opening 2 Conference USA games. Rolling and throwing, Cordell Grundy. Incomplete pass, trying to find Greg Campbell Jr.
Well, it was a rollout all the way on the play, and really, when you watch it, Grundy just has to be more accurate with that throw. They got a block on the edge. You didn't have to rush that throw. Sometimes you got time to set your feet, and you don't know that you have time to set your feet and make a better throw.
Isaiah Zuber has been good in the passing game. Isaiah Zuber's been good in the passing game today. 6 catches, 72 yards. He's also provided a lift in the return game as well. But Duke Shelley, rather than Zuber, is the one that will pick up the Yanni Roots' punt. And it's well covered by the UTSA Roadrunner special teams. Kansas State with a 27-point lead will be starting a drive at their own 28-yard line. Skylar Thompson leading the way to a big lead at home for K-State. For the 8th time today, the Kansas State offense comes out on the field. They lead 34-7 as we look at the Saltgrass Steakhouse second half summary. The total number for the game, 355 yards for Kansas State, 150 for UTSA. Sometimes People will say numbers lie. And I would always say, Brian, you just have to know what they're telling you.
That's true.
The story is pretty apparent today.
Yeah, and they got good balance on offense. The quarterback, Thompson, has established himself.
And again, he fakes a handoff. This time, Justin Silman was the running back that he faked the handoff to. He had a 27-yard run to end the last drive. He goes right into the center. Kevin Strong Jr. with the tackle on defense. He's back in for UTSA.
And he's running behind one of the most experienced offensive lines in the country. All of them are holdovers from a year ago, including Holtorf, the center, Reisner, Beecham, Mitchell, and France. Doing a good job winning the line of scrimmage up front.
Holtorf, the center, the least experienced in terms of starts. 15 coming into today. You've got Dalton Reisner with 40 starts going into today.
That's good stuff that time.
Yeah, nowhere to go for Justin Silman.
It's King Newton.
Newton with the tackle as we go to Greg Wolf in Los Angeles for a Fox College football game break.
Mark, thanks. We go to Stillwater and special teams coming up huge for 24th ranked Oklahoma State. Jarek Bernard, the block, second block punt of the game for Oklahoma State. This one goes for a 17-yard score by Zacharias Green. Cowboys lead Boise State 34-21 fourth quarter. Mark, Brian, back to you.
Well, special teams are big here in Kansas State. You think about all of the kickoff returns for touchdowns over the years, but Oklahoma State, if you look at the last 7 or 8 seasons, is amongst the nation's best when it comes to non-offensive touchdowns. Right now, the Kansas State offense is in trouble, and they turn it over for the first time today. Skylar Thompson went back to pass bowling, and Jared Carter McClellan recovers a fumble.
First turnover of the day for Kansas State, and a lot of that was good coverage down the field. Skylar Thompson trapped in the pocket, nowhere to go with the ball, and the pressure from Frank Wilson's defensive line collapsed on Skylar Thompson. See the ball in his right hand is out. That ball gets poked out. You want to have 2 hands on that ball in the pocket. That will be the coaching point. Carter McClellan comes up with it, and a lot of fight from this Roadrunner defense here.
I think, looking at that replay, Brian, that while he was engaged in a block, Josiah Tauaefa got the paw in to dislodge the ball from Thompson's hand. Running play inside. This drive after the Skylar Thompson fumble begins for UTSA at the K-State 25, and a running play for B.J. Daniels. That's 3 yards before a Reggie Walker tackle.
You remember now, this UTSA program is only in its 8th year. Right. This is a brand new startup organization here. Third head coach now, Frank Wilson. But they have a lot of young players. That man, Tauaefa, is the leader of that defense and one of the leaders of this young program. You can build around those kind of players and that play that he just made.
38 wins, 46 losses is the record over 7 full seasons, and now into an 8th for UTSA with Larry Coker, the national championship winning head coach in his days in Miami, being the architect, and then Frank Wilson now, after Coker in his 3rd season, got him to a bowl game 2 years ago. They lost the New Mexico Bowl and were bowl eligible, and just Western Michigan, Buffalo, and UTSA didn't get to go to a bowl game last year.
And how about in the draft last year? Marcus Davenport, right from San Antonio. That man, Frank Wilson, went to the draft at AT&T Stadium in Dallas and watched Marcus Davenport become the 14th pick in the NFL draft by the New Orleans Saints back in late April.
3rd down pass, Grundy, back shoulder fade, incomplete for Tyke Ogle-Kellogg, who had a couple of nice receptions in the first half, but with Wyatt Huber pressuring Cordell Grundy, the throw was off target for Ogle-Kellogg.
Right up the middle came Wyatt Huber in that play. Forced an errant throw that time by Grundy, and we have talked a lot about Wyatt Huber and his development here over the last 2 weeks. And they're going to need that kind of pass rush and ability and that effort when they start conference play next week.
Jared Sackett is the kicker. He nailed 2 40-plus yarders last week, 46 and 47. He's from Timber Creek High School in Keller, Texas, just outside of Fort Worth. Kicked the ball well last year, 19 out of 22 on field goals, and then the 2 longest field goals of his career last week.
Offense, number 42, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Well, you're making it easier on himself.
He'll be attempting from the distance of one of the field goals he hit last week, 46 yards now.
That's got to be disappointing for Frank Wilson, though, just lining up for the field goal and getting a delay of game call.
from 46 out of the hold of Yanni Rutsis. Jared Sackett off target.
I think that 5 yards made a difference on that kick.
Yeah. A costly penalty. Timeout of the field, 4:44 to play in the third quarter. Kansas State 34-7.
Kansas State leading UTSA 34-7 here in the third quarter, while offensive lineman Dalton Reisner has a special guest here today, 6-year-old Caden, who has been battling leukemia. Dalton is his big brother from Big Brothers Big Sisters, but he's also become his friend through this process. He's been visiting him at the hospital, teaching Caden how to play football. Get this, he is now in remission, actually just had his last appointment this week. And Caden is here with his parents today, with his little sister Ella. I talked to him before the game, guys. He had a great time running out of the tunnel. So a special day because it was also his birthday yesterday, Mark.
Oh, wow. This is a running play here for Alex Delton at quarterback for a yard for Kansas State on the first play of this drive. Dalton Reisner's done a lot of work with kids who have or have had cancer at Camp Hope. When you get a chance to talk to him, you understand he's a great student athlete who takes the mantle of responsibility very, very seriously in terms of giving back, Brian.
Well, he is the complete package when you want to talk about a student athlete. And his involvement in the community is second to none.
Running play here on second down.
You know, he's out of Wiggins, Colorado. His dad coached him at the Pop Warner level, the junior high school level, the high school level. He's still the high school coach there at Wiggins. He's got 5 brothers, no sisters, only brothers. They all play football.
Yep.
I mean, imagine that food bill every day in the Reisner family.
I mean, some of them are only 6'1" or 6'2".
That's right, yes.
Only 6'1" or 6'2".
He is an All-American candidate this year on every single awards watch list.
Long pass down the side. Isaiah Zuber's open again. He has 1 touchdown today. He's looking for a second, and he has it. On a long pass play from Alex Delton. Success for Delton on his first series of the game, and the lead is now 40-7.
Well, Alex Delton says, I can get it in the sack too. And Zuber is just going to run the straight go route right down the sideline here. Little stutter and go. And then once he gets it, nobody was going to catch him.
He gone.
Yeah. And Alex Delton gets a chance here, and he's saying, I can improve this passing game just the way Skylar Thompson did, and Kansas State has made a big jump here today with their quarterback play.
For Isaiah Zuber, this is his career best day catching the ball, 144 yards, 72-yard touchdown reception, which is the Quicken Loans, the right play of the game.
Well, you take a look here. There's the pump fake by Delton, and then the throw was perfect, and then the finish by Zuber, the breakaway speed. And that's how you got to play the game in the Big 12. You got to put up points. You got to have the big plays. You get the running game established. You play behind an established offensive line, and then you make those kind of plays. And it's one-on-one football in the Big 12. We've seen the loss of Baker Mayfield and Mason Rudolph, some great quarterbacks in this conference. And so now it's time for the younger guys like Thompson and Delton to step up.
The 144 yards receiving almost doubles his previous career best in a game of 79 against Baylor. He's tied his most receptions in a game in his 3 seasons playing at Kansas State with 7.
That's almost a smile for Bill. That's a smile for Bill Snyder. Whoa! Yeah, he recognizes what he's done here today. Wow. Bill usually reserves that.
It's grinning from ear to ear,
yeah.
Baldy. I mean, that's just not a smile.
No, that is more than a smile. He said, we have not given our fans much to cheer for these first 2 weeks. Today, there's a lot to be excited about.
And a building block for the future with West Virginia on the road up next in the conference opener in 7 days. Matt Guidry a return. And doesn't even reach the 20-yard line before he's driven backwards. Starting in week 4, Fox will be the new network home of Thursday Night Football. The schedule we have on Fox this year is loaded. one huge can't-miss matchup after another. Thursday night football coming to Fox Week 4. Now, it's a game.
I'm excited to listen to Troy and Joe Buck each Thursday evening. Watching Cincinnati take care of Baltimore a couple nights ago, and they're still dancing here in the fourth quarter. They haven't stopped.
Almost the fourth quarter, 3:24 left in the third.
Yeah. Second half.
B.J. Daniels, a running back for UTSA.
There we go.
Grundy with the pass to Tyke Ogle-Kellogg, caught at the 25.
Remember now, UTSA is playing way up here in talent level, programs, history of programs. Everything right now that they can do is a positive. They can put a drive together the way Grundy did earlier in that first quarter. That would be something that Frank Wilson can build off here in the next couple of weeks.
It's a well-supported program in the city of San Antonio.
Oh, great home crowds there in the Alamodome.
They average almost 29,000 a game over the history of the program. They had their second biggest crowd last week when 42,000 came out to see them play Baylor at the Alamodome. First down completion, by the way, on the money, caught by Blaise Moorhead.
I thought Grundy played well against Baylor. You know, they had it 27-20, and late in the third quarter, just down a score before it got away from him. A couple good completions here by Grundy on this drive as he shouts out the plays to this young offensive lineman.
Ball at the 30-yard line, first down and 10 now. Hand off to Daniels, left side, upended by Parker just over the 35-yard line. So look, the city of San Antonio has always been supporting the program, but when you get a first-round pick, then that puts you on the map. Marcus Davenport, Baldy, last year 17.5 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 14th pick of the draft by the Saints.
Yeah, and they were looking for that one missing ingredient with the Saints. There he is with the commissioner and Roger Goodell right there in Dallas. Frank Wilson went with them to it. In fact, Roger Goodell said, you know, you've got 9 players from UTSA on NFL rosters. 7 free agents and 2 players that have been drafted. Program has put out some players here in 8 years.
Well, whenever Marcus Davenport is recognized during an NFL game on Sundays or Mondays, and they say he's from UTSA, Frank Wilson says he wants people watching to realize that, especially if you're a young recruit, that your dreams aren't deferred if you come to UTSA. You can go there and reach the NFL like Marcus Davenport did. You can go there because of what they're doing developing in players at UTSA, not in spite of.
And that's what Frank Wilson told Marcus Davenport's father.
Yes.
When he came there as a 213-pound freshman. And he leaves as the 14th pick in the NFL draft. That is a great thing to build on for future recruits to UTSA.
As Grundy zips it on the money, caught Greg Campbell Jr. over the 45.
That's the best throw by Cordell Grundy today. He stepped into that throw, and that jumped off that right arm of his.
He spun it.
Yeah, you're right.
Long throw for 7.
Yeah, that's from one hash all the way to the other side of the field. He's got some juice in that arm.
By official measurement from UTSA, Marcus Davenport showed up at the number you said, 213. When we talked to Frank Wilson this week, he said Davenport, as you see the previous throw a moment ago from Grundy, talking about developing players along those lines. Right there to Greg Campbell.
Campbell coming back for that ball and got there in a hurry, beat the coverage. I like Frank Wilson, though. He's got the right energy level. He's been a big winner at a lot of different programs. And in fact, Al Orgeron from LSU called him this week, just checking on him, see how he's doing. He recruited some of the great players, including Odell Beckham Jr. at LSU while he was there.
That's the end of the third quarter.
41-7, Kansas State leads UTSA as we head to the fourth quarter at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. In the Flint Hills of Kansas, 41-7. Kansas State at home leads UTSA. Fourth quarter underway. Mark Followville, Brian Baldinger, Leslie McCaslin. Bringing you today's action across Fox Sports Networks. College football on Fox. There's the tight end, Carter McCarthy, with his second catch of the season. Sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona.
And he got the first down, too.
Sure did. 3rd and 3, picked up 4.
Gonna come over to take a blow right here. The heat's jumping on him a little bit. Grundy moving the team here, start the 4th quarter. Got fullback back in next to him.
Grundy is 11 of 16 throwing the ball today. Not a lot of yardage, though, only 77. And a marker comes in on his pass. It was off target anyway. In search of Kirk Johnson Jr. on the left sideline.
Holding. Offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
It was a different tight end. We just saw one catch a pass, McCarthy, but that tight end, Gavin Sharp, guilty of the infraction.
Yeah, but you see, Gavin Sharp is a redshirt freshman. He's one of those 38 redshirt freshmen or just true freshmen on his roster. You see the baby face coming through the helmet there. I mean, they're kids, and they're getting a great opportunity to play in a big-time environment here. And they're building this program with these young guys. And they're taking their lumps here today, like they have against Arizona State. But they're going to get better.
And to some degree took lumps against Baylor, but got better. I mean, Frank Wilson said, the one thing I can tell you guys, we're a much better football team after week 2 than after week 1.
There you go.
It's a good throw by Grundy.
Sure is. That's the way to go up and get it. By Moorhead. Blaze Moorhead caught a touchdown pass from Grundy last week against Baylor. Big catch in the back of the end zone there for San Antonio. He gets the ball out of his hands. Moorhead adjusted the ball in the air, went up and got it.
He's from All Saints Episcopal in Fort Worth. 7 catches this year after only 5 all of last year in his sophomore season.
See, they've got 3rd and short here, Mark. But if you're UTSA, you've got 2 downs to get this. So you tell your offensive line, we're giving it to you. You go move the line of scrimmage. They're cramping up there. I see the right tackle, Jalen Galmore. He's slipping around, but they're not coming off the field. They need 2 yards here in 2 downs. Hang on to the ball and keep this drive moving.
A drive that bridged the gap between the 3rd and 4th quarter.
All 3 receivers down here, stacked, trying to. Now they send one in motion.
Kirk Johnson Jr. is the one that's gone in motion. 3rd down and 2, Kansas State 41. Grundy throwing, and the throw went outside. The receiver, Ogle Kellogg, went inside.
I'm surprised they threw it, to be honest with you. I thought with 3rd and 2 that they would run it and run it again if they didn't get it.
I thought your assessment was correct, that you approached that as a building moment for the offensive line.
That's what you're trying to develop here. It all starts up front. I don't care what program you're at or what level you're at. It starts up front with those guys. Establishing the line of scrimmage. You had a chance there. Give them a running down against the good front of Kansas State.
They did not convert on their earlier 4th down attempt in the second half on this rollout pass play for Gavin Sharp. They don't convert on this one. Incomplete. With 13:18 left in the game, second turnover on downs for UTSA in a game that Kansas State leads 41-7 in Manhattan. College football on Fox is brought to you by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer today and see why Ford is America's best-selling brand. And by Saltgrass Steakhouse. Experience a cut above with certified Angus beef brand steaks. The number 2 quarterback for Kansas State came in on the last drive, Alex Delton, and they're bringing in the 2s on the offensive line now with this game at 41-7 Kansas State. Early 4th quarter hosting UTSA, so the starters like Dalton Reisner, the right tackle, going out of the game now. And we were talking about him and his work in the community with the young man Caden, who's 6 years old, who's been undergoing leukemia treatment that he ran out on the field with before the game today. Let's see this first down play now for Kansas State from their own 41, which will be a running play for Justin Silman and loss in the backfield for Silman. You know, we noted that we talked to Reisner yesterday. I got to tell everyone, there's nothing more unique for guys like us, for play-by-play guys, to watch that moment when 2 offensive linemen, one currently and one former offensive lineman, start talking in that almost alien language that you guys are able to communicate with each other with?
We have our own communication. We communicate with our bad-looking hands and our demented fingers and all of that. right next to his center, Holtorf there, and to his left tackle, France. They all sit together.
Sure.
They're a real community, you know, and offensively we do. Because everything just rolls downhill. When everything goes bad, it's the offensive lineman's fault. We understand that.
Down goes
right there.
Delton.
See,
Yep.
right there, they're going to blame it on the backup offensive lineman right there. That damn Evan Curl right there at center. It all go down on them. They'll learn.
I mean, as you told him yesterday, you can be an offensive lineman and you can have 71 great plays, but the 72nd was not good.
Yeah, he jumped right in. He knew it right away. Look, he's talking. He's talking technique right there.
He really does take seriously the technique and the craft part of the position of being an offensive lineman, because that is such an important element to it. This is 3rd down and long. They've gone backwards on this drive, losing 5 yards on the first 2 plays. But now Delton has a lot of room to run, and then Josiah Tala'efa. Wonderfully done by the linebacker Tala'efa to come up and meet him at the 44-yard line with the tackle. As we go to Greg Wolf in Los Angeles with the Fox College football game break.
Mark, thanks. Over on Fox, that shootout continues in Lubbock to Sean Henry, 19 yards for the touchdown, his 2nd of the game. Both teams have found the end zone on their opening series the second half. Texas Tech leads Houston 42-35 third quarter. Mark, Brian, back to you.
That sounds like a Texas Tech score.
Yes, sir. The only other punt today for Kansas State was Andrew Hicks in the first half of Coppell, Texas. Bernardo Rodriguez, a redshirt freshman, will punt now. And it's fair caught by UTSA at their own 23-yard line. With 11-12 left in the game, Kansas State en route to a 2-1 record with a big lead at home against the Roadrunners. Kansas State 41, UTSA 7, 11-12 remaining at Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. Families affected by Hurricane Florence urgently need support. You can help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today by going to redcross.org or text Florence to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. For UTSA, they averaged 238 yards of offense this year. 4th worst in FBS this season going into play today. They're at 202 right now, having scored 7. And a short pickup of 2 yards on his first down run.
Well, you know, like, they had an experienced offensive line to start with, but then they lost their left tackle, Shannon. So the right guard, Josh Dunlap, had to go over there and play left tackle. I'm sure he hasn't played a lot of left tackle, trying to learn the right guard position. He's the only starter that returned from a year ago. Was that Josh Dunlap?
Yes.
Now at left tackle.
7 starts there at left tackle last year. He was starting this year at right guard. He's from Zionsville, Indiana, but he's got a Kansas connection, having played at Dodge City Community College, and then transferred to UTSA. Bronson Massey's been on the tackle for Kansas State in the last 2 plays. Running plays both for the Roadrunners.
Huge community college program throughout the state of Kansas.
Yes.
Hutchinson, Butler Community College. If you look around the rosters of these college programs, so many kids coming out of the junior college and community colleges of the state of Kansas.
Garden City, Dodge City. It's been fertile recruiting ground over the 27 years for Bill Snyder here in 2 different stints. Upstairs, catch is made. Tariq Woolen. Woolen had 4 catches in the first 2 games of the season. That's his first today for the redshirt freshman from Arlington Heights High School in Fort Worth, and it moves the chains for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, against Darrell Patterson there, the corner went way up to get it. Forward progress was marked for the first down, and so every one of these first downs that the Roadrunners get is just, you know, another sign of growth here, regardless of who Kansas State's putting out there on defense right now. Another step in the right direction.
Grundy looking to run. Stutter step, and that got him past the defense and down the sideline. The stutter step froze Eric Gallon II, whose father was a very good running back at Kansas State in the late 80s and early 90s.
Well, he gave him the hesitation move and then put it on him. He's going to break the pocket right now. Now he's got Gallon. Just a little high step. I think really Grundy should pull the ball down more. Probably did that at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. The community college ranks there a year ago.
Running play to the 40-yard line. Picked up 26 yards. B.J. Daniels for a yard. You made an interesting comment a moment ago, Brian, talking about, I don't care who's in for Kansas State, it's all positive for UTSA. By in large part, their ones are still on the field. Yep. And I think if you're a Conference USA team and your ones are having success against even Big 12 twos, I think that's something that you look at in a positive frame of mind.
That was my point, Mark. I mean, and for Frank Wilson, he's looking at that too. He's just looking at these guys finishing these games. He's saying that we're so young. These games are, our chance to improve. He thought they improved from Arizona State to Baylor, and I'm sure he's going to see some improvement from this group right now. B.J. Daniels spins twice to try to get positive yards.
Brian said they're young. How young are they? 109 players, of which 38 are redshirt or true freshmen, 28 sophomores, 23 juniors, 20 seniors.
I counted 12 last week against Baylor. Freshmen and redshirt freshmen that played significant amount of time against Baylor. Kansas State, an established program. A bunch of seniors here, redshirt seniors. Yep. Dalton Reiser's a 23-year-old senior here. I mean, you just have physically just such an advantage.
A Kansas State program that has the third longest bowl streak in the Big 12 right now, 8 straight. Grundy throws the ball away. Nothing opened up for him on 3rd down and 7 at the K-State 37 under duress from Justin Hughes.
That's a good decision there by Grundy, just to get rid of the ball. Save the sack. For these Kansas State players like Hughes getting a chance to play, we saw Eli Walker step up big time today for Denzel Goolsby. This is your opportunity to catch Bill Snyder's eye and his staff.
Eli Walker, 6 tackles today. A.J. Parker, the leading tackler in all for Kansas State. 0 for 2 on 4th downs. They've both been in the second half, the attempts for K-State, but now they convert. It is a bullet throw all the way across the field to Greg Campbell Jr.
I mean, that throw is effective at every level. That's an effective NFL level throw right here to the outside. Way to step up into it and just snap it.
You're going middle of the field outside the numbers, Brian.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a rope there to the outside to Campbell. You want that on 3rd down to continue to drive and stay on the field.
9 yards they picked up on 4th down and 7. Brendan Brady is in the game at running back. Brady is a kick returner. He's had a couple of carries so far this year, and is another, you guessed it, for UTSA freshman. High snap, caught by Grundy, and then throws the ball away. 6:53 left as we check in again with Greg Wolf in Los Angeles with a Fox College football game break.
Mark, thank you. We go to Camp Randall Stadium, number 6 Wisconsin, down 3 to BYU. Hopped by El Gaglianone, 42-yarder. It is wide left. BYU pulls off the biggest upset of the college football season so far, 24-21. Mark, Brian, back to you.
Wow.
Well, Greg, BYU is one of those non-Power 5 conference teams that are playing 3 Power 5 conference teams in non-conference. And keep in mind, BYU's an independent, by the way. And to go and get that win at Camp Randall, wow.
Well, and against that big, strong, experienced offensive line with Taylor, the running back, I mean, that was not, nobody could have predicted that upset. That's huge, but that's college football. And great job by BYU being ready to go play that game.
UTSA and that group of teams from the group of 5 conferences who are playing 3 Power 5 opponents in their non-conference. Lost to Arizona State, lost to Baylor, en route to a loss to Kansas State today. Non-conference continues against the Texas State Bobcats next week. Dropping back to pass on 3rd down, but stepping up to run is Cordell Grundy. And Grundy gave himself up sliding short of the marker, but leaves him 4th and 1. 4th and 2, maybe.
He'll stay on the field here. He got, and I think, like I said, I think he should run more. It's just making that decision when to run, when to throw, when to extend the play. But he's talented. You can see the athletic ability that he has.
Had a really good freshman year at Northeast Oklahoma A&M, and then an ankle injury limited him his 2nd season there. But while there, the coaching staff really helped do a lot of extra work and put practice reps on film to make sure that 4-year colleges would know what kind of player they had and how healthy he was. Sharon Sackett missed a 46-yarder earlier. Going to give it a go from 37 yards. Whistles before the kick.
prior to the kick. Timeout. Offense. First of the half. Media timeout.
5:21 to go.
I don't know if Frank Wilson wanted that time out there. Might regret that.
41-7, Kansas State leading at this timeout. Kansas State leads as they wind down a hot afternoon in Manhattan, Kansas. Frank Wilson and the UTSA Roadrunners have mounted their longest drive in terms of number of plays and time consumed off the clock. About a 6-minute drive. This is the 12th play of the drive. It's a field goal attempt of 37 yards for Jared Sackett. And that one is inside the left upright. He missed a 46-yarder. He's able to keep that 37-yarder between the sticks, and it's 41-10 now. Hey, look, it's a shirt-off day. It's 90-something degrees and a heat index in the mid-90s as Kansas State leads UTSA 41-10. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1.
And what isn't undisputed is the fan base here at Kansas State. They don't stop dancing. They don't stop cheering. Great home field here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
They'll be back at home in 2 weeks after a conference road opener in West Virginia next week. Texas will be here in 2 weeks to play K-State. Texas, the huge game against USC tonight on Fox. Isaiah Harris caught his first pass of the season today, and he's got a great kick return in progress here. And the kicker, Jared Sackett, slowed him down at the 37 and tackled him. There's also a marker down.
Love when the kicker can bring down a guy like Harris.
Yes, sir.
In the open field.
5:09 left in the game. UTSA just had a drive for points, a field goal by Jared Sackett to make it 41-10. Penalty, it looks like, on the return here for K-State.
There are 2 fouls on the return team. Holding, number 6, declined. Holding, number 56, accepted. At the distance to the first down.
Time to take a look at the Jimmy John's freak performance of the game. And how about Skylar Thompson, the Kansas State starting quarterback?
Well, that one to Reuter and that one to Harris. And this deep shot here to Duncan Schoen for the touchdown. This touchdown here to Zuber, the quarterback fell down, and then his ability in the running game. As we said, it's tough to stop these Kansas State quarterbacks in the run game. And this one, he finished for a touchdown, 2 touchdown passes, the touchdown run, and Skylar Thompson's got a lot to feel good about after this performance here today. And they'll have their hands full against West Virginia, who had their game canceled because of the hurricane against North Carolina State. They'll have 2 weeks to get ready for the Wildcats. From
the 6-yard line after the penalty, the 3rd accepted penalty against Kansas State today. And the interesting thing about that is there have been 2 plays now where Kansas State has been called for a penalty, and there have been 2 penalties called. One's been declined, one's been accepted. Remember the Walter Neal Jr. situation in the first half, the pass interference and defensive holding.
Well, Bill Snyder does not like the penalties. He says, I mean, he really is looking for perfection. He's looking for no penalties. When they had 2 last week, he said that was too many.
But it was a big improvement off the 13 that they'd had the prior week against South Dakota, which was their most penalties in a game since 2005. Running play. Dalvin Warmack from Blue Springs, Missouri, over the 10 to the 11.
Well, you know, Bill Snyder has got such, the formula never gets old, no matter how long you're around football. You don't beat yourself with penalties and turnovers. You run the ball, and they have been running it well now this year, and you stop teams from running. They couldn't do that last week against Mississippi State, giving up almost 10 yards a carry. They went back to the basics this week. One-on-ones, get out the boards, get down to the fundamentals of the game, and I think it's helped them today.
Delton looking to run from the quarterback spot. Waiting for it to open up. Ball came out on 3rd and 5. People still diving on the pile, going after it. And the referees will have a big pile of humanity to unstack right now to find the ball at the bottom of it.
Yeah, they got the ball.
UTSA has it. Second turnover for Kansas State in the second half.
There you go. That's Frank Wilson exhorting his team right there.
On the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Brendan Johnson.
Well, let's see what he's got. Both. He doesn't have both hands on the ball. Was the knee down? This might get looked at. Was Delton's left knee down when the ball came out? They may have time to take a look at it. Nonetheless, the fight by the Roadrunners is still on.
And if the play stands, which it has not been indicated ready for play yet, so there's probably a look going on right now. We'll see if it's going to be an official review in a moment.
Well, there's the left knee. Now the ball was coming out. The ball was coming out before the left knee went down. So it is UTSA's ball.
And setting up at the 10-yard line, Brendan Johnson from Midway High School in Waco, Texas, who went to the Naval Academy Prep School before coming to UTSA. And it's a bullet throw over the middle by DJ Gillens. The backup quarterback is back into the game, and he rifles it to Greg Campbell Jr. for a UTSA touchdown.
Well, you got to love that. You got to love that view of the Roadrunners. Capitalize on the takeaway and the first play right into the end zone for Gillens. He's sure about this throw. Of course, Campbell was wide open. He was uncovered on the play. Kansas State not doing a good job of finishing this game, and UTSA just keep on fighting.
They have the last 10 points of the game now, the Roadrunners do, as Sackett hits the extra point. And DJ Gillens throws his first UTSA touchdown pass. He also had a touchdown pass while with SMU last year in a game against North Texas, and a couple of touchdown runs as well.
You had mentioned the word circuitous to describe DJ Gillens earlier.
Yep.
He started at Wisconsin, went to Pearl City Community College in Mississippi, then went on to SMU, and now is on his fourth team here, and thankful for the opportunity to play.
You know, you talked about Kansas having a lot of good JUCO programs. The state of Mississippi, that applies as well. Remember, we have talked and had games of Steve Campbell in the past, and Steve Campbell was a fantastic junior college coach in Mississippi at Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I remember Steve telling us, for those kids, when Pearl River Community College and Mississippi Gulf Coast gets together, it's as big for the kids as Auburn and Alabama is. When they play.
Those kids, it's football's important to them.
Yes.
It's important to them. It's important to get to this level here.
They need it.
They need it. They need football. And they take it very serious. Bill Snyder's no longer smiling. The band is still being struck here. They're still doing their part.
And, you know, we noted this earlier, by the way. Bill Snyder has used the junior college system in Kansas to a great deal of effectiveness over the years, recruiting players and bringing talent that have helped Kansas State win a ton of football games over 3 decades. It is a live ball, a little pooch onside kick. Far enough down the field, though, that it was too far in front of the oncoming players for UTSA, and fielded by Duke Shelley on the bounce for Kansas State.
Kansas State, big winners of the Cactus Bowl a year ago against UCLA.
Yep. A lot of comebacks late in the year last year.
Big comeback win to win that game.
They had 3 of their last 4 wins in 2017 were by double-digit comebacks.
That's right. Bowl games, what, 8 straight years now, Mark?
Yes, sir. 3rd longest streak in the Big 12. OU 19 straight years at a bowl game. Oklahoma State 12 straight years. Kansas State went 8-5 last year, including that Cactus Bowl win that Brian mentioned against the Bruins. Justin Silman has been running the ball a little bit today for the first time this season. As we look at the upcoming road schedule brought to you by Logan's Roadhouse. West Virginia is obviously a tough trip to open up conference play on the road in Morgantown next week, and they also have to go to Oklahoma and TCU, arguably the 2 best, certainly 2 of the 3 best, or 2 of the 4 best, you would say. I mean, Oklahoma State and West Virginia are ranked as well. But Oklahoma and TCU, those are going to be tough trips later on.
It is a formidable road season for the Wildcats.
And Here's Silman, stiff arm, running, first down. By the way, in 3 straight weeks, you have the 2 road games for them for Kansas State against Oklahoma and TCU, and a home game against Oklahoma State. It's going to be a tough stretch of schedule coming mid-October for the Wildcats.
Oklahoma State putting it on Boise State today in Stillwater. Anybody who's watching the Cowboys here, this Taylor Cornelius, 5th-year senior filling in for Mason Rudolph, has played pretty well for Mike Gundy's team.
We go under 2.5 minutes to play for Kansas State, headed towards 2 non-conference wins in a season for the 29th straight year. A gain of 2 yards on that play, as we have Leslie McCaslin with a report down on the field. Leslie.
Well, guys, we joked at halftime with Coach Snyder about how he likes perfection, but he does. He requires a certain discipline from his players. We know that's been the hallmark of this program for a very long time. And in fact, in the offseason, he brought in some Navy SEALs. They called it the program. That's what they put the players through, and that was all sorts of drills. They went to the swimming pool. They carried logs. They had to even carry each other, which is very interesting. But Dalton Reisner told us it was a moment when the leaders really had to emerge from this team. And because Kansas State is so much about being disciplined, it really helped them prepare for the season. So 3 penalties today, maybe not as good as it was last week, but a vast improvement from week 1. And that's what Coach Snyder wants to see from this team week after week, is that they're improving in those little areas.
That's about to be 212 wins for Bill Snyder. All of them as the head coach, of course, at Kansas State. Coming here from Hayden Fry's outstanding coaching staff in the 80s at Iowa. 1 more win after this one goes final, and he'll catch Dennis Franchione for 19th in all-time coaching victories.
Holding. Number 84 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
You won't like that 4th penalty.
I don't think he likes any part of this.
No. Just talking about the wins that he's had. Here's a little bit more about his outstanding coaching resume that has led him to the College Football Hall of Fame. 3rd most wins amongst active FBS coaches. Only Brian Kelly and Nick Saban have more.
Taking prodigious notes here throughout this game, pen always in hand, reminders of things that they have to clean up for next week.
After the penalty, Alex Delton and Kansas State snapping it from their own 36. Another running play. I felt good about circuitous earlier, but prodigious. You won. You saved it for right at the end.
We're on the college campus.
You had
college campus.
That's a finishing kick to make sure I can't catch you at the finish line. Yeah, well, that was well done.
I've got my stat book over here, my thesaurus, right next to each other.
Another timeout's taken by with 1:41 to go. It was great, though, hearing Leslie's report about the Navy SEALs and really hearing Dalton Reisner talk about it. And look, it's true at any level of any sport. When you endure something together, the bonding, and as he spoke of yesterday.
But see, Dalton Reisner's smart, because the first guy he carried was his left tackle, Scott France, who's 300 pounds.
They tried to carry one of his backup tackles.
He said, you know what, it's better to carry 2 smaller guys a longer distance. See, he figured that out.
Yeah.
That's part of the program.
It's a smart family that came out of Wiggins, Colorado, man.
Yeah, well, his father, Mitch Reisner, raised him well and has coached him throughout his program at every level.
Dalton is a great student athlete. He has broadcasting aspirations, but number 1, he's got an outstanding college football career to wind up this season, and he's got a future beyond that, playing the game.
Oh, yeah. No, he's going to be looked at, you know, when you start making those evaluations for the next level.
Says he loves playing center, where he's played a lot of his career, and he actually played center at Kansas State early in his career before making the move out to right tackle. So where it all ends up for him will be interesting.
I watched him warm up today. He was snapping the balls to the quarterbacks in warm-ups today. Justin Silman shaking his head here as Rodriguez gets in position to make this punt.
Number 29, Bernardo Rodriguez. UTSA, number 10, Greg Campbell Jr.
Clock winding down to a minute left in the game. as Bernardo Rodriguez will punt for the second time here in the fourth quarter. Have been a couple of Kansas State turnovers in the second half. UTSA has the last 10 points of the game. But the margin 41-17 for Kansas State with 52 seconds left to play in the game. There's Alex Barnes, who scored a touchdown early in the game for Kansas State.
And Alex Barnes has his degree in kinesiology. We mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
I asked him how you did it. How do you, he was only a junior. He's got his degree already. He said he had a lot of advanced credits coming out of high school that transferred here to Kansas State.
Right.
Then he took a bunch of other summer school and all that. I mean, he's got his degree here as a junior. That's not easy to do. That's not easy to do if you're just a regular student not playing football.
Deflected pass, almost intercepted. Diving forward on the edge was Eric Gallen II. Well, for Frank Wilson, saw a look at him a moment ago. They have one more non-conference game against Texas State, and then Conference USA starts. 5th is where they were picked in the 17 Western Division of Conference USA.
Well, sometimes they just get these picks wrong.
Sure. Kansas State can attest to that. There have been several years when the prognostications of the preseason weren't very high in Kansas State, and they produced good runs.
Well, I think in 2012 we went to the Fiesta Bowl. They won the Big 12. I think that they weren't picked very high that year.
Yep. Well, they're coming off an 8-5 season, and they will be 2-1. And Will Greer and Dana Holgerson and the Mountaineers await in Morgantown next Saturday.
That's a happy wide receiver right there, Isaiah Zuber.
Career day, 7 catches, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Back to throw DJ Gillens. He had a touchdown pass earlier to Greg Campbell Jr. Now he's got a pass and spin moves made by Kirk Johnson Jr. will bring him all the way up to midfield with 37 seconds left. Officially the 49 of UTSA is where the ball is put down. UTSA will fall to 1-12 all-time against teams from Power 5 conferences. That includes 2 losses now to Kansas State. Deep throw down the right sideline, incomplete. Try to get a Blaze Moorhead, who had a touchdown reception against Baylor last week.
And they're still firing.
Yep.
19, Blaze Moorhead.
Power 5 losses for UTSA, not only a couple to Kansas State, they've also dropped 3 games in the past to Arizona. Arizona State a couple of times they've lost to them. Oklahoma State they've lost to 3 times. Their only Power 5 conference win, 17-10 at McLean Stadium in Waco last year against Baylor. With Dalton Sturm being a big part of that. Long pass all the way down into the end zone on the rollout to the right side by DJ Gillens. Trying to add one more score to the tally today for UTSA. Looking in the end zone for Kirk Johnson Jr., who has a catch on this drive already.
It's third down.
Record for Frank Wilson, the 44-year-old native of New Orleans. 12-15 his time at UTSA.
Yeah, he's got 86 kids from the state of Texas that he has recruited. Saying there's more than enough talent in this state. I don't have to go back to Louisiana and try and pull all those guys out against. That was a good throw.
Yep.
And that's complete to the 19, Blaze Moorhead.
Said that they needed to move the pocket, do a better job of protecting the quarterback after surrendering 13 sacks in the first 2 games. They've been better.
They've been better at that today.
Yep.
The offensive line got another chance to really compete against a good front. Take a Hail Mary shot here to the end zone.
Grundy throwing and incomplete. Looking for Sheldon Jones from Warren Easton High School in New Orleans. Freshman.
I'd say the one area that Kansas State has to improve on, if they want to get competitive here in the Big 12, they need a better pass rush than what we've seen. If you can't affect these quarterbacks and these offenses in this conference, Kyler Murray at Oklahoma and what we saw from Cornelius at Oklahoma State around this league, they're going to have their way with you.
Now you think about guys in the past, Jordan Willis, Will Geary over the last couple of years. To really good throw by Gillens for the end zone in the last play of the game, but it's broken up as they were looking downfield for Tyke Ogle-Kellogg. And that's the last play of the game, a game that ends with Kansas State defeating UTSA, Brian, 41-17.
Look, it was a great day for Skylar Thompson, and they wanted that. Isaiah Zuber with a big afternoon, catching the ball, touchdowns. But this is what Bill Snyder here, as he shakes the hands of Frank Wilson, wanted. He wanted improved quarterback play, and that's what he got here today.
For Leslie McCaslin and Brian Baldinger and our great crew in Manhattan, Kansas, I'm Mark Followell. Thanks for watching the final score. Kansas State 41, UTSA 17. This has been a presentation of Fox College Football.